Okay, welcome back to another episode of Banking Without Borders. So, what about 10% cashback or 9%? Or what about 555% APR? These are real numbers on real cards and accounts that real companies, mostly, are advertising. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why we'd recommend approximately none of them. And I'm going to be clear up front, this is not a recommendation video. This is us pulling 5 of the strangest cards or accounts on the market to see what's actually going on underneath the hood. Every single one of these has plan tiers, right? And they've got tiers on top of tiers. One of them has 3 plans with 3 levels per plan. I'll do the maths, that's 9 combinations. So if this episode gets a bit weird or a bit tangled, please don't blame us. That's entirely their fault. So Jan, should we just begin the episode with some Krak?
Yeah, Johnny, the Krak card, which is arguably the most boring, but also the most legitimate card on this ranking. The headline rate is up to 2% of cashback, which you can get, and it varies depending on how much money you deposit with them. Under £1,000, you're getting 0.5%. Above £1,000, you're getting 1%. Above £10,000, you're getting 1.5%. And above £50,000, you're getting 2%. That cashback is uncapped. So you'd be earning these 2% on whatever you spend with that card. Sounds not too bad, right?
Okay, so yeah. So the basics here are deposit 50K, get 2% cash back on everyday spending.
That's right, Johnny. And you might be thinking, why? Why would you do that? Why would you deposit 50K into this account? You've opened up an account with them already. You've shown it to me in the app. Basically, they want to funnel you into their crypto platform. They want to encourage you to trade on their platform. They're definitely, there would be a moment, right? You have that money deposited. There would be a moment where you think, how do I get interest on that, right? How do I get a return on investment? And obviously, the closest feature you can access that's close to interest is investing that into some kind of stable coin, potentially into some other crypto coin, various options. But that's the whole incentive, and that's the only way this works even. Right? Because why would they do that else?
Yeah, it does sound like that. It's essentially just a marketing play, isn't it? They've decided that they're going to offset the cost of providing you with cash back as a marketing cost.
Right.
That's fine. That's normal. The card itself, there are some nice little benefits to this account. The cashback, I think, is expensive. And by that, I mean it's quite a big ask to deposit 50K for 2%. Let's just compare that for a moment to Chase UK and their 2% cashback, Jan. You're depositing your money in an FSCS protected account, first of all, with Chase UK, and this Krak account, it's an e-money institution through something called PSL. So there is some protection, and we should go as far as saying this is the only account out of the ones we're going to talk about today that has a level of protection to it. But with Krak, your money, if you decide to go with this, your money is deposited with Payward Service Limited, who are authorized by the FCA, and they are an EMI, which means any money you deposited into Krak would be ring-fenced, so it would technically be secure. But I wanted to talk about comparatively to Chase UK for a moment. Chase UK are also offering 2%, and in return, they're not asking for £50,000. They're asking for you to deposit how much money per month? Let's just double check that to qualify. You have to maintain a balance, Jan, of just £1,000 across your Chase Saver accounts to qualify for 2%. That's not on everyday spending. That's not on every possible merchant code available. But it's not £50,000 in a somewhat unprotected, or it's not unprotected, but in arguably a less protected account. That immediately makes you wonder. This is quite clearly, Chase UK are doing it as well. They're offering cash back in return for your deposits. It's technically marketing as well, but it's such a big ask. They've got to have something else there.
Salary match, and that's definitely worth mentioning. Salary match, the headline rate here is up to 1%. They basically put on top of your salary under the condition that you receive it into your Krak account directly from your employer.
Yeah.
In order to get the full 1%, again, you have to have a minimum balance of £50,000 with them. And
So I have to show my employer that I'm using Krak.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Now that you're saying it, Johnny, that sounds so wrong.
They'll see that I'm on crack. But that's interesting. Okay, up to 1%. That's interesting, right? That seems quite unique as well. Find me a product like that elsewhere. That someone in the comments, by all means, jump in if it's somewhere else available. You can almost envisage maybe Revolut doing that like pre-2021, like in the earlier days, to encourage like salary deposits. Everybody's trying to do something like that, aren't they? All the banks, the fintechs, they're all interested in getting that salary deposit win. Like that's like gold dust, isn't it? Because it's recurring, reliable income that they can put on their balance sheet. And make no mistake about it, Krak are trying to do it here as well. They're interested in getting that.
If you have a minimum balance of £1,000, you're still getting 0.5%, which is not too bad, right? But below that, it starts being unattractive. With £1,000, that's accessible. That should be available to everyone. So that might actually be something worth thinking about.
Yeah.
You know, it's not terrible.
It's not.
Something to mention, it requires £2,500 a month of payroll. So this might not even be available to everyone. If you're earning less than that, then you cannot use that feature.
Yeah.
You know, there are pros and cons everywhere. But I think that's not terrible. It's actually quite a useful feature.
And it's a travel card.
It is a good one.
Who'd have thought, right? If you were to put it up against, say, Starling, for example, from just a travel perspective, it basically matches it. You've got no fee on, like no fixed fee on transactions. You've got no fixed ATM withdrawal fee. There's no ATM withdrawal limits either, apart from like daily limits on how much you can withdraw, which is pretty significant. Interestingly, the app displays the limits, even though my account is set to GBP in USD.
Classic.
Which stuff like that is always a bit of a red flag for me. Yeah, but I think it's 1,000 USD per day in ATM withdrawals, somewhere around that. I'll pop it on the screen for those that are watching. And it uses MasterCard's FX rates just like Starling, Jan. So we've stumbled across a pretty competitive travel card with this one.
That's right.
If you were to compare this, Jan, to Revolut pre-banking license, you could argue that this was a better travel card because they both have EMI protections. Prior to getting fully licensed, prior to getting that FSCS deposit protection, Revolut was an EMI, which meant that if you deposited money into a Revolut account, it was ring-fenced at like Barclays or JP Morgan, so your money was technically safe. You could argue, I know I'm hanging on this, I'm lingering on this, you could argue that this Krak card is a better travel card than Revolut was back in like 2021, 2022. I think it's quite interesting. And out of all the providers we got today, right, Jan, this is arguably the safest. So strap in, everybody, because it gets a lot worse from here.
That's right, John. Should we talk about a Nexo card, which has a very interesting concept, by the way?
Yeah.
Because that's a card that works in a dual mode, essentially. You can use it as a credit card, but you could also use it as a debit card. So I think that's quite innovative in itself. The headline rate is up to 2% of cashback that you could possibly get. In order to get that, though, now the conditions, you need to deposit at least 10% of your portfolio into Nexo's own coin.
What's the coin called?
The Nexo coin.
Of course it is.
And there's a minimum balance of $5,000. So you need to have at least $500 worth of Nexo coins in your portfolio. And then you need to have $4,500 of other things in there potentially. And then you can earn these 2%.
Okay, but how much is Nexo worth?
Good question.
What is Nexo in USD? What is a Nexo coin worth?
Yeah, one Nexo coin is worth 71 cents today, but it was worth, at its peak in 2021, almost $4.
Oh, excellent. So it's doing really well. Probably can't get any worse.
What if you buy in right now and that coin is worth 20 cents in a few months or in a year? You know, then all these all the cash back that you're receiving, you know, what does it matter? I'm always skeptical with these kind of concepts when you have to buy into some sort of crypto coin or, you know, and maybe even subscribe to a subscription, funnel money into a platform in order to get a reward. That's always a red flag, always something definitely worth being mindful of.
Yeah, you are putting your money in harm's way, potentially. I think Nexo deserves some credit because it is quite a unique idea in the sense that you can use your crypto as leverage, essentially borrow against it to spend in, say, fiat currency like GBP or USD, right? That's an interesting part of this. So you don't have to sell your assets on spending, like, for example, with that Doge card that we recently talked about, where like every transaction is a capital gains tax. That's interesting. FX as well, Jan, from a foreign exchange perspective, it's not a bad card to use, is it? 0.2% on weekdays.
Oh, I think it is.
Damn it.
It absolutely is, Johnny. You didn't read the whole thing here.
It's not as bad.
You're paying 0.2% on weekdays and you're paying 0.25% on weekends. But that's only within the EEA, UK, and Switzerland. So it's 2% or 2.5% outside of that. So let's say you're planning a trip to the US. You want to use your Nexo card and it's converting money for you. Then you'd be paying 2% on weekdays and 2.5% on weekends. And that's not good at all.
It's still better than Revolut on the weekends in Europe.
In Europe, absolutely. Absolutely agree. Revolut standard.
And ATM withdrawals are better. No fees up to £1,800 a month.
With the platinum tier.
That's the equivalent to Revolut Ultra. Oh, that's the platinum tier. How many tiers are there?
So there are 4 tiers in total, and it depends on how much money you have with Nexo.
Okay.
Basically, the base tier is available to everyone. No Nexo tokens required in order to qualify for that. You're getting 0.5% of cash back, and I think £180 of ATM allowance. Silver requires 1% of Nexo tokens against the rest of your portfolio. That gives you 0.7% of cash back.
Okay.
And in order to get 1% of cash back, you got to have at least 5% of Nexo tokens against your portfolio. And Platinum, as I already said, 10% of Nexo tokens against your portfolio.
They're not really selling much here, are they? This isn't really that encouraging.
Oh, they're definitely trying to sell their token, Johnny. That's what they're trying to do. And you know what's even more alarming, at least on paper? Wirex. I think Wirex is definitely seems quite sketchy. Maybe sketchy is the wrong word. Don't want to talk anyone down. Maybe they're all legitimate and we just get the wrong impression. But looking at their website already, I don't know. That doesn't seem very professional. So the headline rate is up to 8% crypto back that you can get with Wirex. In order to get that, there are many conditions involved, Johnny. So basically, let's start like that. There are 3 plans: standard, premium, elite. And in each of these 3 plans, there are 3 tiers. There's an entry tier, there's an enhanced tier, and then there's an ultimate tier. Excluding standard only has the enhanced tier, it doesn't have an ultimate tier. In order to get the full 8%, you need to be part of the elite ultimate tier. And in order to be part of the elite ultimate tier, you need to, first of all, get a subscription. The subscription is 30 euros a month. And then lock 7.5 million WXT coins. So you need to have 7.5 million WXT coins locked for 180 days in order to take advantage of this.
What is one WXT? Is that right?
WXT.
WXT token worth?
0.1 cent. USD cent, sorry. So 0.1 USD cents, which means 7.5 million WXT coins still requires 8,250 USD in investment, more or less.
Okay, so it's a big upfront investment for a coin worth 1 cent.
And also we can show this chart on the screen really quick. If you've done that in the past, I don't think it has worked out really well for you.
Token value
went down pretty significantly. I think down 96% all time. Ooh. 96%.
Oh, yeah, it's not looking too good.
In order to compensate for that, they should be paid. You should be paying 800% of crypto back. Then we could argue it might be worth it, but at 8%, now imagine you buy in, and then in 6 months the WXT coin is worthless. It's worth even less than right now. That could be bad investment.
The website is very shady as well. It looks very, like these AI pictures. Oh, and this there's an AI photo of a bloke holding 2 cards in his hand. Wow. I'll pull that up for people that are watching this. He's got 2 cards in his hand. Oh God, why? How has someone not noticed that? Like at Wirex and fix that. Okay, let's try to play devil's advocate here. Okay, so they're offering you cash back,
crypto back.
They're asking, they're crypto back. Sorry. What is the FX? Okay, can I use it as a travel card, Jan?
Kind of. 0% FX fee, but there's a conversion spread that applies when crypto is converted to fiat at a point of sale. So Brilliant. That's what it is. Brilliant. And I think you can't use the card as a fiat card. So you can't use, let's say, deposit British pounds and then just spend the British pounds within the card. That's not possible from my understanding. Could be slightly wrong, but to be also fair, it's very confusing looking at all these benefits, looking at all these tiers. I mean, how many different tiers do we have here even? So you got 9 tiers, 9 different tiers. You see what I mean, right?
They have a 2.5 on Trustpilot. from 17,000
Wow.
reviews. That's not bad. And for context, the Krak card, a 1.9
There you go.
from 130 reviews. So Wirex is better on the Trustpilot score, doing better in terms of customer satisfaction. I mean, while we're at it, we may as well also do the Nexo card. Let's check their Trustpilot.
They actually have a really good score, I believe. And I can actually speak highly of the crypto platform. I think it's pretty intuitive. I've used it in the past to make certain crypto investments, very calculated crypto investments in a very moderate scale, to be honest. And it was good for that. Did a good job, was intuitive, easy to open up.
Did you come out ahead?
No, I lost a lot of money. With a stable coin, actually, which turned out not to be stable. Pretty sure anyone in crypto knows the story, but what was that? Terra USD, where the Korean guy also went to jail, I believe. And then it was a disaster. But one day I looked into my account and I was just trying to calculate the interest I received from the day before, and it turned out that the stable coin wasn't stable anymore, and then I had to sell it, and I think I sold it for 30 cents on the dollar. Plutus leads with a headline rate of up to 9%. Sounds extraordinary on paper, 9%. But you gotta be skeptical with this one, absolutely. Again, we got 3 tiers, and then we got 9 levels.
I mean, I think we should probably say straight away with this, before we go any further, that Plutus, I think, looks the most shady of the 5 that we have to talk about today. If you skip through Reddit, if you skip through Trustpilot, it doesn't even look like it's active anymore. Last post on Instagram was almost a year ago. I downloaded it as well, and the app is like just not functioning in any shape besides anything that requires you to upgrade or to pay for a plan. So it doesn't really work unless you want to send them money. So I wanted to get that in there early. Let's talk about Plutus now. Sorry.
Plutus has 3 different plans. They're subscription only, so you have to pay a monthly fee. Cheapest plan is Starter. Starts at £6.99 British pounds. Gives you a spend cap of £250. That's eligible for the cashback. So you'd be earning 3% depending on which level you're on, which means maximum cashback in the base level is £7.50 every single month. And that goes up with the premium plan, which costs £20 to £30, where you'd be basically getting the cashback on 1,000. Oh wait, this is so confusing, John. Let me start again, because this is not even half the story.
Okay, but I'm not going to cut that out. You can just start again if you want.
All right, there are several different levels. The levels determine your cashback rate. So that can be between 3 and 9%. And they also determine the amount of perk slots that you're receiving. Perk slots, that's something we'll talk about later, okay? Let's just focus purely on the cashback right now in order to clarify this concept, which you need to be a scientist for in order to understand, or mathematician at least. The plan only determines the eligible spend cap. So that starts at £250 for starter, when you're only spending £6.99 every single month for the subscription. And the premium plan allows for £1,000 of eligible spend cap. So the absolute maximum amount of cashback that you can receive with Pluto, if you subscribe to the £19.99 plan and you're a honey badger, which is their absolute maximum level, in order to what you need to do in order to qualify that, I'm going to talk about that in a second. So the absolute maximum amount of cashback that you can receive is £90 per month, which sounds great on paper. And in addition to that, you can get 9 perk slots. What are perk slots? Perk slots are actually very interesting concepts. You can pick between subscriptions that are available, and then basically Plutus gives you the first £10 that you spent with each of these subscriptions back to you in full. So it's like a refund that's happening. It's paid in Plutus, their own coin, but that's another story. So you'd be getting, you could be technically, at least on paper, getting £90 of cashback and £90 worth of subscription refunds into your account. That's £180, right? That sounds good in theory, but now let's talk about what you need to do in order to actually make that happen. So you don't just have to subscribe to the premium tier, which is £20 a month in itself, but you also need to invest into their own coin, the PLO coin, as it's called. And in order to get advanced to the highest level, to become a honey badger, as they call it, which is a very resilient animal as well. We're going to show one on the screen. You need to hold at least 40,000 PLU coins, which is worth $4,800 or about 4,000 pounds. I think it's one PLU coin is 10 pennies or 10 pence. One PLU coin is 10 pence. So you need to hold at least 4,000 British pounds in PLU coins in order to become a honey badger with Plutus. Are you following me, Johnny? Are you following me?
No, I'm not following you.
It is fascinatingly complicated. And you know what? I think that's part of the sale here. They try to confuse you as much as possible in order to make you think this is legitimate.
I'm just trying to validate the company as well. They're associated with Block Code Limited in the UK as a registered company. Their confirmation statement is overdue, which is basically a way of, you have to do it yearly. You just basically confirm with Companies House that you're still alive and functioning. That's overdue, but only by about a month.
Oh, God.
That's okay. It's only by about a month and it happens. And also 5 months ago, they apparently raised, this is just how crazy venture capital is or investment is, like they raised $2.3 million. They might actually be fully legitimate, but looking at the website, trying to understand, Jan, what you just described in terms of their plan structure, confusing. To me, it feels almost not real. It doesn't, like, who in their right mind would design this in the first place and think that like a sentient being would be able to follow along with what they're asking.
And again, you have to buy into an existing crypto token, right? And that's a red flag again here. It's right there, Johnny. It's visible. It sounds too good to be true, and trust me, it is then, in most cases at least.
Every swipe earned 3% at a minimum, every single swipe. But what if I swipe? What is the cost to me in terms of the crypto fees that I will have to pay when I swipe?
I think there's a 2.5% fee on non-domestic transaction.
Definitely not a travel card then.
No.
Although you'd probably be better off using it instead of American Express. That's not a recommendation. Neither. I wouldn't use either.
There's a 1% trading fee on starter and 0% on everyday and premium tiers.
But am I holding any fiat currency? So I am depositing. I can deposit fiat, and I just have to trade fiat and buy their coin to get the cash back. But I could technically spend money with this card if I had GBP in the account.
You could have fiat spending. That's my understanding at least. But the rewards, they're credited in PLU coins.
In PLU coins, is that right?
And if you want to earn more than 3%, you also need to hold PLU in the account, as I mentioned.
I have to hold the PLU to get the cash back.
Well, you need to have one PLU in order to qualify for the 3%. It's basically how they make you. So you have to invest.
One PLU
you have to have in order to get to become part of the noob level. Right, and then you can advance. And if you want to get the full 9% of the advertising, you need to become a honey badger, which means you need to hold at least 4,000 pounds worth of PLU.
What's the market cap of PLU?
Wow, that's a good question. One PLU, let's say PLU coin, Plutus coin, Pluton.
$2,000 of volume traded in the last day. It's not a very busy coin.
2 million USD is the market cap on this one.
Yeah,
and it's down all time 96.13%.
None of this could be validated by good cashback. You're not going to convince me with 3, 8, 10, 100% cashback.
Let's talk about the Bybit card. It becomes even crazier, Johnny. They lead with a headline of up to 10%, which sounds extraordinary. Literally, it says it in the headline of the website, up to 10% that you can receive. It's fascinating. In order to get these 10%, you need to be a freaking billionaire.
What?
Potentially. Or at least be very, very, very
Hang on,
wealthy.
What do you mean you need to be a billionaire?
So the conditions that are tied to the top tier, that's tier 6 in their card, is that you need to spend at least $25,500 per month with their card, or be a Bybit Supreme VIP member. To become a Bybit Supreme VIP member, you need to at least handle $100 million of spot trading, or $500 million of derivatives trading within 30 days on their platform. $500 million in derivatives trading in order to qualify for this tier, which is, by the way, also comes with a cashback that's capped at 600 USDT per month.
Well, so it's not even unlimited.
So the maximum amount you can earn these, no, it's not unlimited. So you in order to get these, basically you can earn 10% on up to $6,000 in spending.
Oh, wow.
So imagine spending these $25,500 per month with the card in order to qualify for tier 6, and then you're only being rewarded on 6,000 of these $25,500. That's fascinating.
It doesn't make sense.
No,
it can't be real. Look,
hell no.
I've not experienced this. Okay, I'm not speaking from experience. I'm just speculating. But if I go to Wall Street with $500 million to trade, I'm probably going to get a Rolex, or I'm probably going to get showered with gifts.
It's a pure speculation.
I'm not getting $600.
Or have you done
that? I mean,
that?
this is insane that they're offering. No, well, I mean, maybe in my dreams, but no, I've not had that opportunity. I'm just speculating. But I think if you took $500 million to a hedge fund, they would try to impress you and try to win your business.
Kind of, right?
Like if you found 5 hedge funds and you said, I've got $500 million, who wants it? They're going to be like, oh, okay, we'll wine and dine you, maybe give you a gift, a kitchen, maybe. They'll give you a new kitchen. $600? That's a joke.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Did they forget the zeros?
To be fair, Johnny, to be fair, it's not all terrible. Tier 1 comes without conditions. And it pays 2%, which is good on paper still. 2% on paper without conditions. Hey, why not, right? But the cashback is capped at 5 USDT per month.
I just found a figure on the landing page that says new user exclusive up to 555% APR. That is insane. 500. What is that though? It's next to BTC savings and Ethereum offering 0.4% and 0.8%.
Let's go. Let's invest.
You got 555% up new user exclusive. What is this nonsense? Anyway, where were we? Sorry, I got sidetracked by that ridiculous number. You're talking about cashback rates.
Yeah, cashback rates. If you handle $500 of spending with that card, you can increase that cashback limit to 50 USDT per month, and the 2% still applies. So it's not terrible. I think it can be quite useful actually. But yeah, excluding like anything above tier 2, I think I'd be very, very skeptical. And tier 6 is so far out of reach for most people that I think it's not right that they're advertising it. You know, I would not advertise that. If it needs $500 million in derivatives trading potentially, why would you put that on the homepage? Knowing that 99.99% of the people will not have these funds available in order to qualify for this. So it's fascinating, Johnny. It's fascinating.
That's what's strange. That's what's strange about this whole website is it's all very extravagant. These numbers, like this 555% savings account, this $500 million in derivative trading to qualify for a maximum limit of £600 or dollars, whatever currency it is in cashback. It's very odd. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up, which I guess is probably why we listed this as the last one. It's confusing. It's weird. But in the defense of Bybit, let's have a look at their Trustpilot for a moment because it's a platform.
Yeah.
2.7. From 7,479 reviews, I was hoping for something more impressive. If you're reading this review, I strongly recommend withdrawing your funds from Bybit as soon as possible. They do respond, though. They do respond to bad reviews. They are legitimate, but I just don't know if they are sane.
You know what's very fascinating,
realistic.
Johnny? Now that we've talked about all of these 5 providers, which sound very compelling on the first look at least.
Really?
There's always a condition tied to it, right? And there are 3 kind of things. Either you pay a subscription, you pay them money on a monthly basis, or you buy their coin, or you park a lot of money with them, or a combination of all of these. You know, it makes me think it's really important to be skeptical nowadays because these numbers, they do sound very, very tempting. But in many cases, if something seems too good to be true, it is. It's just what it is, right? Because logically speaking, a card transaction, you know, there's a ceiling on the fees that the card provider can charge the merchant, right? So is there room for 10% of cashback? No, there's not, because else no one would be accepting card payments anymore. If every card payment would cost a merchant 11% or so, so the the card provider can give 10% back to the user, then no one would be offering card payments anymore. It's just not in there. It's not part of the margin. It's not possible. Don't let yourself be impressed by the numbers, and really try to look for serious options that are legitimate. Ideally with as many users as possible.
And with some sort of deposit protection as well.
Ideally.
I'm not even sure if that's... I think that might be non-negotiable. I'm curious to hear from anyone in the comments if they're willing to deposit money, or at least large sums of money, into an account which doesn't have some sort of protection. I'm certainly not. FSCS protection is solid for me, or an EMI, which, to be fair, Jan, if you're on Krak, you get that level of protection.
What's up with this name?
An electronic money institution.
Just that every time you say this, Johnny, I think of something else. And that's, I don't know. Not ideal.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think there is a level of protection, at least with the Krak card, that could somewhat justify taking a punt with it. And there are certainly people out there, like a lot of the products that we talk about day in, day out, there are certainly some people out there that could benefit from it. Like you said, like they're already investing crypto. Possibly they have $50,000 worth of Bitcoin, for example. They can put to work in there, and then they can also generate cash back on their everyday spending.
Fair enough.
But besides that, Jan, I'm struggling to see any use case for any of the others. I mean, I'm not even sure one of them is real, Plutus. And the other one's got the audacity to ask for $500 million in trading for $600 in return. Jump in the Discord as well if you haven't already and you want to become a founding member. We'd love to see you over there. These are the sort of funny conversations that we're having. People are always sort of not necessarily recommending, but sharing and showing cards that you should probably be aware of in case you were fooled by them. I like that aspect of the Discord. I like the discovery aspect. I also love the fact that we can share or ask advice. Like I can seek out advice on what printer to buy, for example. Someone had a great recommendation the other day. It was Dan, actually, from the channel, who recommended Brother printers. Yeah, and I thought that was a really nice little thing. One reason why I'd love to invite more people in, selfishly, because then I could pick your brains for advice on stuff like what printer to buy. And on that note, Jan, it's time to say goodbye, or auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah, see you in the next episode, everyone. It's been a pleasure, as always. Goodbye.